Hello and welcome back to the Harrison Fletcher podcast. You joined with me, Harrison Fletcher, and today I'm going to be talking about pros and cons of being a YouTuber. Interesting stuff. I know, it's very interesting. I apologise in this episode of the podcast if you can hear birds like tweeting outside. I can hear it, I don't know if the mic's picking it up or not, so just have to put up with it. It's nice though, isn't it? It's nice, it's like a bit of ambience in the background for you. So this idea came about through Twitter, and I tweeted, can somebody give me a topic for a Let's Drive series? And I think it was a kid called Owen that got back and said, can you do pros and cons of being a YouTuber? But I haven't been able to do the Let's Drive series for a while because my phone is playing up like a 8-tosser. You know, like when your phone's coming up saying, oh, sorry, but the storage is too full, you can't record any more videos, you can't take any more photos. Shut up, iPhone. It's just ridiculous, I hate it. I absolutely hate it. Why does it do, what? An iPhone, 2016, can't even hold a picture. You know what I mean? Go back to the old days, take a camera out with you. Anyway, so that's why I haven't been able to do the Let's Drive series. Because my phone, I record it on my phone just for ease. I could do it on my little point and shoot camera, but it doesn't have a flippy screen, so I can't, it's a bit awkward and I have to faff around. And I'm still not quite sure if you can drive and record, you know, like yourself at the same time. Surely that ain't illegal, but I think it's a bit of a grey area within the law. I don't quite know what that is all about, but yeah, that's why am I telling you this anyway? Absolutely boring. Anyway, you want to get I can hear you. You sat in your seat. You sat on the bus, wherever you are. You're at home. You're in bed. You know, you're thinking, Harrison, please shut up and get on because I really want to educate myself. Okay then, let's go. I'm gonna start off with cons first because, well, I don't know. A positive end to the video is what I'm aiming for. If I end on cons, you'll go away feeling shitty. If I end on positives, you'll probably still go away feeling mediocre because you just wasted 20 minutes of your life listening to me ramble on about pros and cons of YouTube. If you could see how I am sat at the minute, I don't think you'd listen to it, this podcast. I'm sat with a 7-Up in my hand, no shirt on, so belly's out, my shorts, just sat in my shorts, with a belt on. I've got a belt on, priorities you see, no shoes, no socks, just sat here. So the first con I'm going to make about being a YouTuber is all the stress that comes with it. Now, I know people at home are saying, no, but I've got a bloody day job, I work 9 to 5 every day, trying to have that's stress. But that's 9 to 5 every day, you know what you're doing, you go in there, yeah, it might be a ball ache, you might not like it, but you know what you're doing, you can do it, you go home, and you're done, you're getting paid for it, you know what I mean, job's a good one. But with YouTube, it's slightly different, it's very, very slightly different. I mean, a couple of my points do like interlock and like crossover, but I'll just carry on talking. So, what I mean by the stress is that the constant like knowing that you have to upload every week, because not in a patronising way, but YouTube audiences are very, very not, I don't know how to word it. I'm going to Google it. I'm going to Google what I'm trying to say. So the word I was trying to get is fickle, I think. So basically what I mean by that, what I'm trying to say, and don't take offence to this if you're listening, if you're about 13, but a lot of younger audience members will be very fickle in the way that they'll jump around from who they watch on YouTube and who they want to like watch that week, and if you don't upload for a week that they might go away and start watching someone else. So that on the back of your mind is a lot of stress, knowing that you've got to upload every week just to keep an audience hooked. So, but that is the, so I suppose that's the catch of it, you know what I mean? You've got to keep, if you're not good at what you do on YouTube, then you won't get the views, you know what I mean? It's hard to explain, but straightforward. It's like, it's common sense. If Coronation Street, for example, was stopped airing for a week, it'd lose so many people that watch it and viewers. But then if it started uploading again the next week, for a couple of weeks and a couple more weeks, then the figures would start to rise again. People would be like talking and saying, oh, check it out, it's back on, and stuff like that. So that's basically how I think a YouTube audience works. They just kind of if you stop uploading, they lose interest as well, is what I think is the gist of it. And that is a lot of stress. I mean, there's a lot more stress that comes with YouTube. Leading on to my next point, which is like new material. So this is my second con, new material. New material is so hard to come up with. I mean, like, it's one of the things that you just have to really just think, what would I want to watch? If I were going to go on YouTube and watch something to make me laugh or something like that, what would I want to watch? And then try and think of an idea around that. Or the way I come up with the Yorkshire accent videos is I was looking on YouTube, I was watching loads of like Yorkshire videos, and I was watching the Yorkshire tag that was going around a couple of years ago, and it will like you have to say a load of words. And I thought, I recorded a video, actually, I never mentioned this. I recorded a video of the Yorkshire tag and never uploaded it because it wasn't as I thought as good as the Yorkshire accent, what the little series that I've been doing that's been milked like a bloody cow. But yeah, new material is something that's it can be personal, I guess. So it's like if you like, I did a video a couple of years ago called Observations, and that would just, I was sat on the bus one day going to college, and I just thought, what video would I want to watch that's like funny, that I can relate to, that people around my area can relate to? I mean, I've found that strangely, by doing the Yorkshire videos, I know this is kind of my advice as well, guys. I don't want to come across as me bragging, because I'm definitely not. It's just advice. I'm trying to help you out. So I'm just telling you what I know. That's all I can say, and what's working for me. So it's kind of advice, but it's kind of just what's working for me. So when I did the video called Observations, I didn't think that video would be relatable to people outside of Yorkshire. Same as the Yorkshire videos, the Yorkshire accent videos. I didn't think people outside of Yorkshire would relate. For some reason, I thought people like down south in London might watch them, maybe, because it's like a bit of banter, and I'm kind of having a dig, but I'm not. It's like I'm just having a laugh. I didn't think that it'd go without being big-headed globally. I didn't think people from Texas would watch it. I didn't think people from Canada would watch it, from Spain. You know what I mean? I've got people from Sweden watching it. It's weird. It's a very... Yorkshire... Sometimes you have to think outside the box in a way, I guess, in a very cliche manner. You just have to kind of think, what's popular at the minute? Now, it was my dad that told me that to watch Game of Thrones, because I never actually watched it. Then a couple of months ago, I started watching Game of Thrones, and like from the beginning, and it's good in itself, yeah, very good, I like it, but they all have Yorkshire accents in it, and a lot of people comment on the accents in Game of Thrones. The Yorkshire accent is in it, so I thought maybe it's more like a popular thing now. I mean, like, Sean Bean, who were in it, he's from Sheffield, which is like 20 minutes away from my house. You just kind of have to think, what are people wanting to see, what's modern, what's like on trend, and don't be just a cliche shitty YouTube. I'm sick of seeing so much shit. I understand that people, younger generations, are being inspired by these big YouTubers like Casper Lee and Marcus and Zoella and Alfie and Ben Brown and Casey Neistat, and it's just, they're just trying to copy them, though. That's the thing, and it's just boring. They're doing that. Leave them to it. You know what I mean? They're doing their job at that, and they're probably doing all right. You know what I mean? Making a living of it. It's people that are different that are gonna, in the long run, benefit from YouTube. Personally, I feel. Moving on to my next con is something that if you ever started YouTube, you wouldn't necessarily make, but a persona. And now I've mentioned this on not the last podcast, the podcast before that, called My Online Persona. If you've not seen it, please do go over and give it a listen. It's just me on that one as well, just me talking. Like I said, I will get guests on this podcast, but yeah, I'm drifting off the topic. Come on, get back on topic, Harrison. So, keeping up a persona online is something that obviously you don't necessarily have to have, but it's something that I kind of accidentally come across. In the other video, I'll go more into detail about all the persona side of the thing. Each week, you've got to come up with content that, like, fits around that is very hard. Like, I'd love to do Q&As on my channel. I mean, I don't think I get many answers, but I'd love to do... I did a Q&A a couple of years ago, and I enjoyed doing it. I thought it's nice. it's a nice way to interact. I feel like I'm interacting one-on-one without actually seeing anyone. Do you know what I mean? Like it's kind of like a bit of a meet and greet, but it's not. It's just nice, I suppose, to do those videos every now and again. I don't mean every week, because that just gets stupid. It's like, how much do you want to know about me? You know what I mean? They'll be knocking at my door soon. You asked me a question on Twitter, and now you're at my doorstep. Piss off. But keeping up the persona isn't really a difficult thing for me. Like, I really enjoy, and it's not really a persona. Like, it's the side of me that reflects all the good bits and none of the bad bits, and just the funny good bits, which is obviously a persona because it's not actually me, but that's the best version of me that I want everyone else to, sort of see. That rhymes, and I didn't mean it to. I should be a poet. Quits YouTube. The next one is people that you barely know taking the piss out of you, like when you first meet them and stuff like that. It's like, you barely know me. I've said I do YouTube videos. Yeah, fair enough, you're going to think I'm a cringy bastard, but I'm not. I always reassure people that I'm not a cringy bastard on YouTube. I don't make this, cotton ball challenge and all that shit. I've never liked that. Ever since day one when they come out, I never liked them. I don't like challenges, I don't like pranks, they're boring, they're fake. I just don't like watching them. I think they're boring. I prefer to watch funny, entertaining videos as opposed to pranks. So yeah, that's a con of YouTube, when people you don't know take the piss out of you because you do YouTube. But you just have to ignore it, just forget about it, because it's like one of the things that the next day you forget about. Trust me, the next day when you wake up, you just forget about it, you know what I mean? And then someone on the internet calls you a cunt, and then you start crying again. So that's just swings and roundabouts, if you will. So my final point is getting disheartened when you feel that you've put a lot of effort into a video or a certain piece of material online or whatever, and it don't get the response that you expected, which I suppose it's a learning curve for many people. It was definitely a learning curve for me. I last year put on 3 short films on my channel, and I really like filmmaking as a person. I mean, that doesn't reflect in the videos that I do online, really. But I'd like to class myself as a filmmaker. I like making films. I like making like series and stuff like that. The audience on my main channel don't really want to see that. You know what I mean? They don't want to see short films, which I was really mad about. I was pissed about it for ages, and I thought, why? I wrote one of these videos, these short films, and they weren't getting the views. They were getting loads of dislikes, hardly any comments, and I'm thinking, why is it having such a bad response? I'm a shit at what I do. And then I realised that it's just not the right place to upload it, and I made a video about it ages ago saying I don't want to make another channel to just upload short films on. I think I should be able to put everything I ever create onto one channel. But in the long run, if I could turn back time, 21 Pilots, I wouldn't have made that video. It was a waste of time. It was a waste of time of me making that video in the first place to then put the short films on as well. It would just... It's not what... When an audience subscribes, and if I subscribed, for example, just for example and argument's sake, if I subscribed to a car channel all about cars, and then all of a sudden this American dude starts coming on and doing some sort of vlogging, I wouldn't stay subscribed. I wouldn't carry on watching, because it's different. I didn't subscribe for that. This is how YouTube works, sadly. I wish it didn't, and I know a lot of other people that probably would agree with me, but it's just how it is. And YouTube, like I say, the audience is very fickle-minded, and it's just the way it is. There's a very different ratio of viewer, if you will. There's the ratio of viewer. There's a very small percentage that are loyal to you as a person, which I am so thankful for, that I have like probably 100 loyal viewers, maybe more. But I get averagely on these podcasts like 100 views, like 70 to 100 views, and then I get about 100 views on the Let's Drive series, which all come over from my main channel. So that's a lot, really. That's a lot. Imagine 100 people in a room just stood there, and then as soon as I make something, they like it. That's nice. It's a nice feeling. So you have that percentage of viewer, but for the most part, like the other, however many I get my main channel, like 1,000. So the other 900 people just want to see me moaning about something. So that's how it is, and that's how, I suppose that's how you've got to keep doing it. So yeah, an important point I suppose to make is don't go into making YouTube videos doing something that you know in a year's time you won't enjoy doing. You know what I mean? Because then if you change your content, for some people it works. Some people, they can upload anything they want and their audience just love it. Lucky people. They are very lucky people. For the most part, I know that most YouTubers on the internet make the same stuff because it works and that their audience is subscribed for that reason. For the very few percentage, they can do whatever they want, but they're very lucky. They're a lucky percentage. So now I'm going to go on to the pros of being a YouTuber, which is what everyone's been waiting to hear, because everyone's like, for God's sake, why are you being so negative, Harrison? Have a laugh, you know what I mean? So a pro of YouTube is that, for me when I first started, it was a hobby. Simple, plain hobby. But now it's something that I want to make a career. So that's a positive. I went into doing something that I thought was just going to be a hobby, and now I want a career in it. That's good. I mean, I don't necessarily want a career just doing YouTube, but it's opened up a branch. It's like YouTube was the root of the tree, and now I've climbed the tree and I've got to the top, and there's so many branches that I want to go into and do that it's like opened up a new world for me. So that's what YouTube's done. I started off doing acting and all that, got into doing YouTube, and now I sort of want to go into the media industry. I want to do a bit of everything. I want to be on radio. I want to make my own films. I want to be in films. I want to, you know what I mean? It's a big branch. It's a big tree of the same stuff. Another simple point is that YouTube is easy to do. Now, a lot of people will argue with that point, but I will call them an idiot if they argue with that. YouTube is not hard to do if you just want to do it as a hobby, just to get started. The only time it gets a bit harder and a bit more stressful is when you take it more seriously. But for the most part, YouTube is easy to do, it's fun to do, and yeah, it's just something that's, you don't have to have a lot of knowledge about to make. Do you know what I mean? You don't have to have an A in science to be a YouTuber, you know what I mean? I have an F in science and you can be a YouTuber. Now this one doesn't really apply to me, but I know it applies to a lot of other people that have done YouTube in the past. It gains confidence, I suppose, and especially it gains confidence speaking to in front of a camera, because that's not a very natural thing to do. To me, now I don't care. Like, I've never really been ever fazed by that, never been bothered by that. I think partly that's due to being an only child and just always talking to myself anyway. So talking to a camera were nothing, you know what I mean? I didn't see why people don't like it, but for a lot of people they don't like it, and a lot of people, by doing YouTube and getting an audience and interacting with the people online, it just gains your confidence. It just makes you feel better as a person. If you're feeling a bit low in your life, I suppose, knowing that you upload videos to YouTube and then you get a good response and that people interact with you, I suppose that's a good way of gaining your confidence, making you feel better. And if you're quite a shy person, I suppose talking to a camera and then putting it online, it's kind of like doing a presentation. Obviously it's pre-recorded and you don't get like, you don't have to stand in front of a crowd of people, but it is kind of the same thing. In a way, it's testing how to be, how to act, what to say. It's just all a learning experience, and it's good. It's good fun. YouTube is good fun. You can't knock it for that. So I've mentioned this a couple of times on this, but another point is you gain a loyal, not fan base, it sounds cringy, but you gain a loyal you gain a loyal, supportive audience, is what I'm trying to say. Which is okay, yeah. As soon as you quit YouTube, they go. Or do they? No, they don't. If someone really loves your work and likes what you do, then they're going to follow that and support all your work. And knowing that you can start on YouTube and this is kind of like what I know a lot of people have done, like on YouTube. I don't know them personally, but I know a lot of people that have done it. Gain a loyal subscriber base, and then make films and release a film. You know what I mean? And then them subscribers will go and see that film. A lot, as you know at the minute, a lot of YouTubers are releasing books. Every bloody YouTuber has got a book. They know that the audience, members that are loyal and supportive, will go out and buy the book. And finally, my last point is just have a laugh. You know what I mean? It's just a laugh. YouTube, you can just have a laugh with it. You can do whatever you want. If you want to be insulting, be insulting. If you want to be nice, be nice. If you want to be an angry, moany, mardy little YouTuber like me, do it. Easy. Easy peasy. I was going to do another segment on this podcast, but then I've just realised now that I've been recording this for a very long time. So thank you very much for listening. I hope you enjoyed this episode of the podcast. And I don't really want to do set topics every week because I don't think that's very cool. You know what I mean? It's not very edgy. But some weeks I do want to do topics. Some weeks I just want to, just chat about anything. So thank you very much for listening. And I will see you, you'll hear me next week.